Set now, offering a pick a card reading, and as always, explore what resonates within you. What we're going to take a look at is this connection balanced? And with any reading, there is a timeless quality that the messages find you when you need them. And when we're looking at a relationship, we also have to consider free will and different parts of ourselves. And so when we look at the cards and we look at a connection, how are you learning, and how is something within the relationship being mirrored back to you to create your own internal harmony? And so there might be a mirrored root in the connection. So the underlying cause might have a commonality, but the behaviors in which they play out and the dynamics in the connection might have something a little bit different, present in a different way. So use this as an opportunity to explore your own internal insights and how can you learn and grow through this connection, whatever the outcome may be, whatever the label might be on the connection. So if this first card spoke to you, there might be a message here for you. And what if the possibilities are endless for you to explore, to open your wings and release any bonds, any shame or fear about what it means to connect to yourself and explore your own sense of expression, and how does that play out in an intimate way in this connection? And will you allow yourself to explore what might have been hidden? And maybe that is taking the connection physically into a deeper channel, into a more intimate way of connecting beyond just like explore your passions and allow what was hidden to now come to the surface or be expressed in a safe and healthy way. It feels important to say. And the Queen of Cups, she knows how she feels. And so do you know what brings you pleasure? Do you know how you feel? And are you ready to express that? And that might be the way that you intimately connect to yourself. And how is that then like overflowing to how you connect with this other human being? And so let's look at two sides of things. If you want to express something, do it. That's what they're saying. If you want to express how you feel, it's time. It's time to illuminate it, that truth. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, whether it is your form, whether it is her thighs are really standing out. And so the power of the thighs and bringing this in to, wow, I'm getting really hot. So one of my decks, I have the Venus of Philindor, and to me, that's on the Ace of Pentacles card. So bringing this in, take it to the next level. It doesn't hurt to express how you feel, and will you find a new way to open up and express how you feel? And that might be every way that you connect on the earth, and every way that you feel your own body, your own heart, your own emotional cup. So let's look at the yin and yang energies here. It comes into balance when you know your truth. We have 3 here that jumped out. Every painting is going to be different, and that's okay, that's great. And so if you're on the gender or sexuality spectrum, or how you two choose, or more, who choose to express who you are, let that be what it is. And the Three of Hearts, celebrating who you are, is what I get from this. We just show you how, but you make the decisions and you have the power to make those decisions. And so Spirit is bringing you connections and opportunity to celebrate life, your own sense of being, and it's up to you to decide what's best for you. And last card. Jack of Hearts, to me, it's about communicating, offering, and taking that first step. So let's put a few little highlights in here and make them little rascals just sparkle in the sun. And so how can you take that first step toward your happiness? And we are looking at the Bob Ross playing card deck. That was quick. Ace of Hearts is the bottom of the deck. And so listening to your guides, listening to your heart, the whispers in the wind. I automatically think letting whatever pains in the past and that, everything's going to be different and maybe you're different and that's okay, and rising above that adversity and not coming from a wounded place, but allow that to heal. And as you sit on your own throne to who you are and being connected with every cell and being connected with the divine light within, that you can allow those wounds to heal. And not to be afraid of the fruit, not to be afraid of your passions and what can grow here. And you create your own reality. And what if it's one of pleasure, love, and self-acceptance? Let's get one final card. History doesn't have to repeat itself, and how can you learn from history and rewrite your own? Bottom deck feels important to share. Divine Messenger, especially with this card, this Ace of Hearts. So how is Cupid's arrow bringing a connection together that was written in the stars and is aligning you to your rebirth? I do hope this served well. Sending lots of love and light. Satnam, if this second card spoke to you, there might be a message here for you. And the word omnipresent is coming to mind just before I hit record. And so what signs and synchronicities are you receiving, and how is everything around you telling you what you need to know? And this isn't about external validation. It's more of confirmation and follow as you're being led. Some things fall away for you to create anew. The movie Walk in the Clouds is coming to mind, and that fire that burned down the field, but it brought something new to them. And so what is the light? It's almost like light at the end of the tunnel, that there's kind of like, there's something deeper lighting the way here. And it might not feel comfortable, it might not feel good, but it's all coming together with divine purpose and divine timing. Change is here, and you might feel the grounds rattled. And how is this an opportunity to trust the divine, come into your inner power? And it might, I'm getting the sense of a pause is necessary to see it. So your self-care practice. And it's easier said than done when you feel rattled. And so you have 2 5s here. Change is definitely here. And what burdens need to be released? Like, are you really trying to hold on to something that's not yours to hold on to? What cup are you drinking from? And the 5, it's sometimes, are you feel tethered to something that Spirit is consistently telling you is not yours to continue to grasp. And it's in the emotional body, something that has to, the 5 of cups always tells me the past. His behind is sticking out. I'm not sure why. If you could have your own way and your own say, what would you have for yourself? Queen of Hearts, she knows how she feels. And sometimes, on the spectrum of emotional intelligence, are you pouring out? Are you receiving? Are you nurturing yourself? And how is this connection nurturing you? See what Bob Ross has to say. Son of a gun. That's a pretty nice tree for being done that quick. So maybe like ripping off the Band-Aid and making this change that you've been denying yourself is actually going to bring you more peace and harmony than you realize. Bottom deck. Isn't that fantastic? I knew you could do it. So bringing forth something new in the material realm. It's past due. You already know. You already know. And, holding is it's uphill battle. You don't need to do that to yourself anymore. So I would encourage looking up cord cutting, Archangel Michael, asking Archangel Raphael for healing. And there could be this balancing act of what was to what can be to who you are becoming. This is so empowerment. How others paint the picture of you versus how you paint the picture for yourself. And it's time to paint your own self-portrait, not to be in the chaos of a connection. How are you showing up for yourself? Bottom deck. Thinking about death. So what do you want to close out? And how you live your own life. It's important that if you are having thoughts of suicide, to get the support you need. And at the same time, see how that is teaching you. Not to stay here, that something needs to change. That you're worthy of being heard, seen, and felt on this planet. You deserve to drink from a cup of love. Oh, what are your messengers telling you in the darkness of the night? Bottom deck. Astral ascent, what messages are becoming more clear to you to help you rise above the burdens? Work in the astral realm as you pray for your angels to help to support you, and as you see what is no longer yours to drink from, ask that the burdens be released so that you can come into balance of yourself, celebrate life again, and be true to you. So what are your emotions telling you? What are your guides telling you? And how are you receiving and healing in the dream world? Do hope this served well. Sending lots of love. If this third charm spoke to you, there might be a message here for you. All-encompassing, the sound Om, that all-encompassing sound. So how are you in the flow, in the currency of love, in harmony with all that's around you in life? Is it time for a fight? To fight for what you believe in? Or have you been fighting against the tide, against what you know to be true in your own heart? And so has this inner fight dictating the choices and behavior? And how can you come into this harmony with life, love, and what's true for you? So some fights are worth it, and some of that fight is internal, and some of the fight, whoa, I would say it's an internal fight if that just jumped out that quick. Bottom deck energy, full card. It's time for something new and embracing you and your own happiness, your own sovereignty. 2 cards jumped out. Wow, this is beautiful. Is it time to offer a cup of love or allow that cup of love to be offered to you? So if you're fighting for that connection, like pushing against it, let it come into you. And energetically receive. I'm just getting the sense of the more you push, the more you fight, the less you work in harmony with manifesting this energy. Remember, divine timing and free will is at play. And what do you want to receive? What do you want to give? And overall, what is your bigger picture in life? It's time to take that healthy risk. It's not a delusion. I get the sense some things might need to be cleaned up. And perhaps underneath this offering is a true choice to make this change. And will you allow it to come through? Yeah. Let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your brushes and few paints and paint along with us. So co-create with the divine. Co-create with the divine, and they're here with you. You lead the way with your own choices and your own mindset, and they will help you learn to express and learn to materialize what your heart is calling for this new beginning. Bottom deck. I think each of us at some time in our life has wanted to paint a picture, and so perhaps you offered your cup of love in the past to someone else, and it wasn't received in kindness. And maybe that was teaching you, or maybe that was a soul contract that needed to be closed out in this lifetime. And now it's time for something new to unfold here. It's just a matter of time to where you wake up and choose to believe in your own belonging on this planet, your own belonging with the divine. And then that worthiness just opens you up to this new beginning. And so sitting with love and remembering your inner child. So just as you're afraid to offer this cup of love, this person is afraid to receive it. Perhaps. Bottom deck. Not to hold. And so if you feel in this connection this person fighting against your cup of love, they too could be holding on to something in the past. The writing could be on the wall that it's their past, like their self-destructive behaviors that you're fighting against to materialize this new love. And remember that as you see your queen, there is also this loving inner child within that could be battling against what you see. They might not see what you see. True will. Everyone has a choice. And what is your intuition telling you? Your intuition is telling you it's time for a new start. But you can't force anything. You can heal yourself and allow yourself to be led by love and not from the pains of the past. You can fight against your own inner demons, but you cannot change someone else. As far as this connection being balanced, I would say consider what's under the fight, and can you have that honest conversation? Sending lots of light and love. Senna. This fourth card spoke to you. There may be a message here for you. And I'm just getting this sense of laughter. Go ahead and laugh. Maybe it's about bringing in some more joy and some more fun. Or maybe it's time to just laugh at yourself, at what you've done. Goddess of strength. Your third eye. I'm feeling a lot through my third eye. So working in the seat of your power and trusting that you can transform any situation, including your own right to your own sovereignty, including releasing any shame that's been cast your way, any projections that have been cast your way that are no longer yours to hold. No shame or guilt in who you are, however you choose to be and show up on this planet. And what are you wanting to give birth to? And what are you rising above? This connection might just be a lesson. And your loyalty should not override a lesson that God has given you. What communication is coming in for you to transform your reality? Magician, what magic do you hold within yourself to recreate, to co-create, to be the human you are brought here to be? You are here to bring forth something magical in the world. And will you own your own power and your own divine light? And not work against what God has given you, this wand, this magic wand, to make a wish. They're saying plant a tree. Bringing forth something into the material realm. And maybe it's about having that patience. The seeds that you plant will grow. And maybe it's your own, like tree of life, like the seed you plant in your own womb. And my sincere apologies if what you wanted to plant did not manifest and grow as you intended, whether that's a being or not. We all have the power to co-create something in this world. And maybe God is redirecting you. What are you committing to energetically? Whatever makes you happy, put that in the world. I'm hearing that song from Sheryl Crow. Anytime you learn, you gain. So the Jack of Swords to me is about setting boundaries a lot of times, especially with that message. You can move mountains, rivers, and trees. You can determine what your world is like. And so I feel like it's about you setting things right for yourself and sticking claim to that. You can have what you want. It just might show up in a different form than you've been searching for or expecting. This was reversed. You can do anything you want. So your belief in yourself, you're not trapped. You're not trapped. And they're telling you this. What stage are you at in your rebirthing? There's cycles here. Maybe it's about having some patience with your own magic. I mean, you didn't get the 3 of Wands or the 2 of Wands manifesting card. You got the Magician. Let that remind you who you are. You might have had some lessons to learn to be able to come into your energetic commitment of what you were brought here to do. Take the lessons and leave the pain. Slash through any resistance to cutting cords, please. Or connections, just let them melt away. No response is a response. Trust your infinite wisdom as your messengers come in to teach you. Bottom deck. There are some soul contracts. There are some past life lessons here, and that's part of your truth and honoring your truth. Discernment. And I think I just said this in another reading, the portrait that is yours, that's set in your soul contract, your lesson versus what someone else. And you get to decide. You're in charge. The divine is here to co-create with you, but you're in charge. And try not to waffle, because it takes time for them to line up what you request. But they're redirecting you. They're communicating with you. Keep going with that. Keep stoking your inner light. And what do you need to do to stay out of the pitfall of your own mindset and continue to foster what's here for you? Commit energetically to the portal of your own awakening and not to be trapped by the illusion of your mindset. And what do you need to do in the material realm to care for you, to keep your head in check, to stay in this divine light and wisdom. So continue to build your frequency. Maybe that's where laughter comes in. My empowerment deck I created, it was started because I was working with my own mindset to get out of a very unhealthy place. Something important to share. I didn't want to at first. Magical child, right there with the Magician. Use what God has given you, your resources. It's time to speak up, to connect to your inner child and use your intuition. Bottom deck, wounded healer. And so as you transform the illusion of the past, when you transform what felt so painful about being human on this planet, and through the connections, and you slash through that, you awaken to what's destined for you, and you choose your path, you choose your step. And is it time to go into your cocoon or how do you go into your cocoon to rebuild your energy, to then take flight on this journey and spread your wings for what society needs from you. Like, the world needs your magic. It's not about you. Your success is every success. Your healing is healing for all. Your ability to rise above the thoughts helps everyone. Keep growing. Sending lots of light and love.